A transgender woman brutally attacked in Texas last month was found shot and killed over the weekend.
According to a list kept by the LGBTQ advocacy group, the Human Rights Campaign, in the past 5 years, more transgender people have been killed right here in Texas than in any other state.
A new study found that half of transgender male adolescents have attempted suicide. It's an alarming statistic that is more than triple the attempted suicide rate among teens who are not transgender.
You know, it's a taboo, like we're supposed to be assaulted and abused and always the bottom of the barrel. Trans women are women. And then when someone finds out that they're trans women, then they're enraged, they're upset, and feel like they have something to prove, and then they want to harm that person. When they were just walking up the street trying to get home. This is a prime example of a story of someone just trying to get home and just walked up the wrong block at the wrong time.
Our youth that we serve that are in the transgender population have gone through an enormous amount of bullying, exploitation, isolation, all things that can trigger depression and lead to suicide.
An overwhelming 85% of gay and transgender students report being harassed because of their sexual or gender identity, with 20% reporting they were physically attacked. 51% of transgender male adolescents reported at least one suicide attempt. 30% female adolescents reporting the same. That's compared to only 8.6% of teens who do not identify as transgender. The 2015 U.S. Transgender Survey found transgender people are 3 times more likely than the general population to be unemployed, and that 38% of Black transgender Americans are living in poverty. Trans or gender nonconforming people in the United States are 4 times as likely to make less than $10,000 a year than cisgender people, and twice as likely to be unemployed. 47% of trans and gender nonconforming people in the United States were not hired or denied promotions because of their identity, and nearly all of them faced rampant discrimination and harassment in the workplace.
Once you become a transgender, it's like that's the first thing you learn is how to do sex work. It was something that came up once I needed to make a living. It was like, it just automatically just clicked with me. Like, it was like, once I transitioned, this was like my ideal job.
Lacking employment options and sometimes facing high medical costs for transition-related healthcare, many transgender people turn to sex work for survival, LGBTQ advocates say. The National Center for Transgender Equality reported in 2015 that almost 40% of the 6,400 Black transgender people interviewed said they were engaged in sex work.
I describe the center as kind of like the church of the community. When I was younger, that was the place that I went to for services and for resources and information, how to, go about being a gay, African American.
The Montrose Center empowers the community, primarily lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer individuals and their families, to enjoy a healthier and more fulfilling life. The center envisions a healthier society marked by permanent positive changes in attitudes and behaviors towards the LGBTQ communities, and the ability of all LGBTQ individuals to realize their fullest potential. Because LGBTQ persons face numerous health disparities compared to the general population, the center has embraced an integrated care model with one-stop access to behavioral health and support services, adult primary care, and free wellness programs that empower individuals to proactively participate in their own care. Their team of state-licensed clinicians, master's-level therapists, skilled educators, support staff, and dedicated volunteers work together to create healthier futures for the community. The Montrose Center offers a transgender support group, which is an affirming space for transgender and gender nonconforming persons and their allies, ages 18 and up, to share experiences, build a support network, ask questions, and create community ties. This is conducted every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Trans Lifeline offers peer support services, hotline, and resources for transgender people. The Trevor Project is a project which has crisis counselors who continue to provide crisis services 24/7 and for free, including Trevor Lifeline, Trevor Text, and Trevor Chat, and to expand their advocacy, research, and education efforts. The daily struggles of living as transgender in Texas are immense, but if we all try and share some information with those against transgender people, perhaps one day they will be able to live a bright day.